What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix and welcome to my level 1 to 99 prayer guide. You can now go from level 1 to 99 prayer in only 8 hours, but that costs 300 mil. Today, I'll show you the best prayer training methods in OSRS, and I'll compare their cost and XP rates. I'm also including the new prayer training methods that came with Valamore. I realize that level 99 may not be your goal with prayer, so I'm going to include the figures to reach level 43 for protection prayers and level 77 for all of the prayers in the game. For every 8 prayer levels, you gain 1 combat level, so level 99 prayer increases your combat by 12 levels. Increasing your prayer level also increases the amount of prayer points restored from potions. With prayer potions, for example, they restore 27% of your prayer level plus 7. For every 30 prayer bonus that you have, your prayer drain rate gets halved, so prayers last twice as long. As a main account in OSRS, you have 6 viable prayer training methods at your disposal. There's Bone Shards, Gilded Altars, there's the Chaos Altar, Ensouled Heads, Offering Spells, and passive training methods. The new Bone Shards method with Valamore is also excellent for Ironmen. It's a safe and fairly fast way to train. There's some extra training methods that you should use as an Ironman. Places like the Ectofuntus and Fonthos Dungeon are great on a low-level Ironman. I'll talk more about those later in the video. In free-to-play, your best option is scattering ashes and burying bones at the same time. Now let's compare the costs and XP rates. On the screen is a complete summary of every viable method. With almost every method, the cost scales with the XP per hour. Superior Dragon Bones provide the fastest XP in the game, but they require 70 prayer to use. Cutting bones into bone shards gives you more XP per bone than what you would get at a Gilded Altar, but you can see that the Chaos Altar is cheaper due to the bone saving effect. But that assumes that you do 1 inventory per run, so the XP rates are slower. With offerings, you should only cast on ashes. You're better off using bones at an altar or with bone shards. If you're watching this video down the track, the pricing might be a little bit different to what I'm showing now. To see the current cost of all of these methods, I made a calculator on Theoatrix.net which updates every hour. For free-to-play, burying big bones while scattering vile ashes gets you around 100k XP per hour, but at a cost of 180 mil for 99. In Old School, there's some items that have a prayer requirement to wear. For example, you need level 75 to wear an Elysian Spirit Shield, but you can bypass that by getting one in real life. These are from Creator Crafted, which are officially licensed by Jagex to sell RuneScape merch. They have iconic designs like the Twisted Bow, Ironman logo, and more. They just released OSRS plushies. There's the Nibbler, Chaos Elemental, Duke, Bloodhound, and my favorite, the Jad plushie. You can save 10% off anything with the coupon code THEO. So to browse, you can click the link in the description below to go to creatorcrafted.com. Now let's get into the methods, and I'm going to start with the brand new prayer training method. To do this method, you need to have completed the Children of the Sun quest to enter Valamore. Completing the Twilight's Promise quest will speed up this method, and the Perilous Moons quest allows you to mine bone shards. There's a number of ways to get bone shards. You can mine them for up to 48k mining XP per hour, or you can get bone shards by doing activities around Valamore, or you can chisel blessed bones into shards. Blessing is done on top of the temple in Ralo's Rise, and there's an NPC nearby that can unnote bones for you. The amount of bone shards you get scales with the type of bone you're chiseling, with Superior Dragon Bones giving the most. After you have your bone shards, you need to bless jugs of wine. To do this, you can go to the same temple you blessed the bones. You can also make Sunfire wines for extra prayer experience. Then, with blessed wines plus bone shards in your inventory, you head to the northernmost house in Ralo's Rise and click on the bowl. You can AFK here, or or you can spam click it for the fastest experience. Once you're done, you can bank to retrieve more jugs of wine or more bones if you need them. Overall, with this method, you can get over 1 million prayer XP per hour, but that doesn't account for the time taken to get bones and bone shards. At 99 mining, you can expect 45 to 50k mining XP per hour if mining bone shards yourself. And if you account for the time mining, your prayer XP rate ranges from 20 to 30k depending on the type of wines you use. Do take note that you need level 30 prayer to do this method. So from level 1, you should train at one of the next methods. I wanted to show this one first though because it is brand new. So next, I'm going to show you how to effectively train at a Gilded Altar. The method involves using bones on a Gilded Altar within a player-owned house, while 2 incense burners are lit. This gives 3.5 times the prayer XP that you would normally get from burying that bone. You can build a Gilded Altar in your house with level 75 construction, but you don't need to do that. You can go to World 330 and use someone else's house, which is better since someone else will light the burners for you. So this is a full walkthrough on how to train at Gilded Altars. First off, decide on which bones you want to use and buy bulk. This is how many bones you'll need to get from level 1 to 43, 77, and 99. I'm showing the popular bones, and if you're using Wyrm Bones, they give the same XP as Dragon Bones, so you can use the same amounts. Once you have your bones, withdraw them noted with at least 50k in coins and a teleport to Rimington. In Rimington, you can unnote your bones at Files in the general store, then head over to the house portal and click View on the house advertisement object. You can select from any of the houses with a Y in the Gilded Altar column. Once you're inside, head to the altar room and use a bone on the altar. The menu entry swapper plugin is useful at altars since it lets you swap the left click option of any bones to use instead of bury. This is especially useful for one ticking, which is when you manually use every bone on the altar for 3 times faster prayer experience. You should also use the RuneLite plugin Entity Hider if you're one ticking. You can also set your client to resizable modern mode. Then you can hold Alt to drag your inventory over the altar. Then you press your hotkey for your inventory and left click repeatedly to use all the bones on the altar. Once you've used your bones, you exit the house by the portal. Then run to the nearby general store and unnote more bones and repeat. You can re-enter the previous house you were just in by right-clicking the house advertisement object and selecting Visit Last. You can also hire a bone runner for the fastest experience in the game. They go and retrieve bones while you're using bones at the altar. I wouldn't recommend using a bone runner since prayer at an altar is already fast and expensive. But if you're going for the absolute fastest XP in the game, using a bone runner and one ticking with superior dragon bones is the fastest. Next, I'm going to cover the Chaos Altar, which is similar to the Gilded Altar in that it gives 3.5 times the XP per bone, but the Chaos Altar has a 50% chance of saving a bone, effectively halving the cost. But the Chaos Altar is in the wilderness, so it can be risky or slower depending on how you train. I'm going to show you how to train there the safest way. You'll firstly need bones, and on the screen right now are the quantities of bones you'll need to buy to reach the goal. These figures don't account for any deaths in the wilderness, and it also assumes exactly 50% of your bones are saved. For this method, you'll also need a teleport to the Chaos Altar in the wilderness, and this could be with burning amulets or Gorok teleports. For the fastest experience, you should bring an enchanted symbol from the Mage Arena 2 mini quest, and this is used to lower your health to bank. So withdraw one burning amulet or Gorok teleport and a full inventory of unnoted bones. Then you use your teleport and run towards the Chaos Altar. Then you can use your bones on the altar, and I strongly recommend one ticking if you're at the Chaos Altar since you get through the bones faster. Once you've used all your bones, you can click the enchanted symbol to die, or without the symbol, you can click on the nearby jug to lower your health and return to your respawn point. Alternatively, some lower level players choose to run to the Chaos Fanatic nearby to die. At the Chaos Altar, you can utilize the 1-tick method with Runelight so that you don't have to move your mouse. You can also bring noted bones and unnote them just outside for very fast experience. About as fast as using a bone runner at a Gilded Altar. But it's very dangerous here. There are a lot of PKers, so I would strongly suggest just doing the safe method that I explained. The next method I'm covering is reanimating Ensouled Heads. With this, you use Arceus spells to reanimate monsters and then defeat them for a lot of prayer experience. Overall, Ensouled Heads are cheaper than the other methods, but are slightly slower XP per hour. Favor no longer exists in Old School, so you can now use the Arceus spellbook straight off Tutorial Island just by talking to Tis. This means the only requirement to reanimate Ensouled Heads is the required magic level for the spell. So this is a full rundown of how to do this method. You firstly need the Ensouled Heads, and on the screen is exactly how many heads you'll need to reach level 43, 77, or 99. You can buy these straight off the Grand Exchange, but I would suggest leaving them in overnight at market price since they don't usually have big trade volumes. Once you have the heads, you'll need the runes to cast the reanimation spells, and on the screen I'm showing the runes. You need the specific spell for the head that you're using. While training, you'll need combat equipment to kill the reanimated creatures, and a dwarf multi-cannon is very useful here to speed up kills. Also, bring a teleport to a bank with you on each trip. Now you're ready to train, so you should make your way to the Dark Altar in the Arceus house with a full inventory of Ensouled Heads. To get there, you can use an Arceus library teleport, or you can use the CIS fairy ring. So run north, then east from the teleport locations until you reach the Dark Altar. Then you can cast the reanimation spell and click on the Ensouled Head to train. A reanimated monster will spawn, then you kill it for a lot of prayer XP. You continue and repeat this until you've used all of your Ensouled Heads in your inventory. Then you teleport to a bank, get more heads, and repeat. After the Kingdom Divided quest, you can cast the Demonic and Sinister Offering spells. These consume 3 bones or ashes and give you 3 times the regular prayer experience. Demonic Offering is for ashes and Sinister Offering is for bones. Although keep in mind these have a high magic level requirement of 84 and 92 to be able to cast them. So this is how you train with offerings. Firstly, you'll need bones or ashes, and if you're buying in bulk, I would recommend leaving them in at market value. You'll then need the runes to cast the offering spell that you're using, and putting the runes in a rune pouch is also helpful. Then, with a full inventory of bones or ashes, you just click the spell and it consumes 3, giving prayer and magic XP. You then have to wait 8 game ticks or 4.8 seconds before you can cast it again. So you repeat this until you've finished your inventory, then you bank and repeat. Overall, I would only recommend doing offerings if you're using ashes. Bones are better used at a Gilded Altar or with bone shards, and it's faster XP at an altar if you 1-tick them. Next, I'd briefly like to cover passive prayer training. There are 5 ways to passively train prayer. The first is the Ectoplasmator, which is a reward from the Soul Wars minigame. With this, you get prayer XP when you kill a spectral creature, which could be Aberrant Spectres, Ankus, the Barrows Brothers, and more. Although, it's not entirely worth going out of your way to get this, unless you really enjoy Soul Wars. After the Hard Mauritania diary, you can obtain the Bone Crusher. This automatically crushes bones from monsters you kill and gives you half of the prayer XP that you would normally get. This is very useful on your journey to 99 Slayer. The Bone Crusher can be combined with the Dragon Bone Necklace to restore prayer points while automatically crushing bones. Very useful for chinning or bursting maniacal monkeys. Another useful one is the Ash Sanctifier, which is a reward from the Hard Kurend diary. With this, it automatically gives you prayer XP from monsters that drop ashes, and you get half of the regular prayer XP. If you're killing a monster and you get an Ensouled Head as a drop, you can actually reanimate the monster on the spot. You don't need to go to the Dark Altar, so this is a passive way to train prayer, especially while training Slayer. From birdhouses and woodcutting, you can obtain nests with god eggs inside. With these god eggs, you can take them to the Woodcutting Guild shrine to exchange them for a reward plus prayer XP. Each god egg gives 100 prayer XP and could be considered a somewhat passive way to train. Now I'm going to cover Ironman prayer training. As a low-level Ironman, a great option to level up is by completing quests. I haven't really covered questing yet since prayer is so fast on a main account, but as an Ironman, it is worth it. The quests on the screen have low requirements and can be completed to go from level 1 to 30 prayer. Particularly the Restless Ghost and Priest in Peril have little to no requirements. Once you've quested, or if you decide not to quest, there are 4 prayer training methods at your disposal as a low-level Ironman. There's Bone Shards, the Chaos Altar, the Thornthos Dungeon, and the Ectofuntus. Bone Shards are a safe way for hardcore Ironmen to train at a low level, and they are still decent for high-level Ironmen as well. The Chaos Altar is fast experience and a free way to use a Gilded Altar. Thornthos is great for Ultimate Ironman, and the Ectofuntus is another safe way to use up bones. At higher levels on an Ironman, you can construct your own Gilded Altar with 75 construction. There's also the offering spells, which I talked about earlier, and Ironmen can utilize the Fountain of Rune if they don't have the runes to cast the offering spells. Although the majority of your time training prayer will be spent collecting bones and supplies to level up. At an early level, the blue dragons in Tavali Dungeon are an easy way to get dragon bones since they're safe spottable. The red dragons in Thornthos Dungeon are also safe spottable, and there's an altar nearby that you can use your bones on. At a higher combat level, once you can train Slayer effectively, you will get Ensouled Heads, Bones, and Ashes to train your prayer. You can also access the Myths Guild dragons at a higher level, and the Wilderness Green dragons are another option. Bosses like Zulrah, Cerberus, Vorkath, and others all drop noted bones, and you'll get a lot of XP from high-level bosses like the Alchemical Hydra and Dagonoth Kings. To finish off the guide, I'm going to show you the best ways to train prayer in free-to-play. Free-to-play prayer training is expensive. There's not really any fast methods, and it's very click-intensive too. The fastest method in the game is burying big bones while scattering vile ashes. You can process both of these at the same time, so you're essentially doing 2 prayer training methods at once. Doing this all the way to 99 prayer is going to take over 110 hours, and at a cost of 180 mil. You're probably better off buying a bond and doing a members training method. So that's my complete level 1 to 99 prayer guide. All of the timestamps are linked in the description below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel for more old school content. Be sure to click the link in the description to check out Creator Crafted and get an LED sign or a plushie. Use code THEO to save 10% off anything. Thanks for watching.